Welcome to Focus Radio and Television. This is Anthony Rayo, and this is Focus Lake County's radio program brought to you by Red Apples Media. You're listening to us here on WLBE, my 790 AM, and you can hear us the first and third Thursday of every month here at 1:30. Right now, our December issue is on stands at more than 130 locations throughout Lake County. And you can get that issue as well as watch Focus TV and other programs on LSTV, including this radio program on Comcast Channel 13, Bright House 498, and Florida Cable 4, or online at lakesumtertv.com and focuslakecounty.com. So this month is kind of all about retirement. We've got a bunch of stories and insights from a financial planner, an insurance advisor, a lawyer, a reverse mortgage expert about the things that you should know before you retire and how you want to prepare. We also take a look back at LSSC's outgoing president. This month, Dr. Chuck Mojak retires from his service at the Lake Sumter State College. So we'll see what he has to say about his retirement and what's next, and his words of advice for the incoming president, Stanley Sedor. Also, we are talking to some unretirees, or people who have kind of taken a break from the regular routine and then return to work later. And we're going to start actually talking to one such person, Ron Bisson, who actually you can hear every morning on the air here at 790 AM between 7 and 9 in the morning. So he's got kind of a rich history in radio, and it's been continuing. Rich. So welcome to the show,
Ron.
I'd
rather talk about the lawyer. I really don't need a lawyer. I need a good judge. Hey, what's happening, buddy?
Well, it's nice to have you here.
I was supposed to be here 2 weeks ago, We won't talk about that.
We had a little mix-up, but
Messed
you're
up
back
my golf
with
game,
us.
but don't worry about that.
Yeah,
it's
so
only me. It's only me.
You've been playing a lot of golf over the last 10 years, haven't you?
I do so much and ask for so little. Anthony, if you cut me, do I not bleed?
Well, we're so happy to have you here with us today. And you're always comical, always somebody to listen to.
Free lunch, what the heck? No, actually, all right, let's get serious.
No, you've been very busy. You've told me before that you retired, but you didn't really retire. You were busy. You had a lot of hobbies and different things going on.
I sat in and did traffic reports, things like that. I could do them from home, so I didn't have to go anywhere, and just did as fill-in stuff just to keep myself busy. And like I said, I started playing a little more golf and getting out and doing stuff like that, and getting myself in trouble.
So what got you back here if you were kind of,
actually, I was on the golf course. I was waiting. I was like 10 minutes away from tee time, and I got a message from Tammy over here at my 790 and asking if I'd be interested in coming here to do some morning work for him. And I thought about it. I said, well, I've been sitting on my butt doing nothing, and I'd been thinking about doing something, anything. I didn't care what it was. And so it just worked out. I said, I called her. I said, look, I'm getting ready to tee off. I said, I'll call you when I get home this afternoon. I should be okay because I have a designated driver for my golf cart, and I should be able to go through without slurring my words too much. And so I called, and it took me a while, and I decided, I met with everybody, and I said, sounds like fun. I was doing country music before, and of course now I'm doing oldies, and it's really stuff that I keep thinking I'm at a high school dance when I was in high school when I'm playing this stuff, because seriously, I keep expecting one of the Sisters of No Mercy to show up and break me up with a woman, or a girl, and it's like the last time I played this music, they were actually on the charts. Because I left rock and I went to country music, so all this stuff is like new to me. It's all new music again. It's great.
So you're returning to kind of your roots.
Very, very gray roots.
I see that. What are you enjoying so far about being back on the air, having people, interacting with people?
It's just, we were talking about maybe doing this from home. Getting a little bit of equipment. It's easy to do now. I mean, the technology is incredible. I mean, you gotta remember when I started, we were playing 45s and album cuts. I mean, now everything's computerized. And I said, no, I would rather go to the station. I'd rather be able to come and annoy people like you. And I said, because then I can meet with potential clients, take them out to play golf, and interact with the people, and that, I think, is lost in the business today. Because it's so easy to do things remotely that there's no one-on-one anymore. And I think that's missing in this business. I mean, you got internet radio stations, and there's just no handshaking, no kissing babies, and slapping people. Stuff I like to do.
Yeah. So you would say, like, maybe to other people who are retired, you're got back involved in this so that you could interact with people, so you could be out there. So even if you're retired, really, you should still be doing.
Oh, you got to get. Well, like, what we had it in the article. By the way, great article.
Thanks.
In Focus. I was reading it the other day. Well, actually, I had somebody read it for me, and I was reading, and it's true. People think that when you get older, the problem is, you don't move as fast as you used to. Of course, I never moved that fast. I mean, I hit a home run once and was called out for delay a game, but you don't move that fast. But you still have it up here, and you got that. The problem is a lot of people don't want to accept what you have to share with them, because you've got so much experience with stuff. I mean, you've forgotten so much that they'll never even know, and they just don't understand that you've got so much to give. And the older you get, as long as you stay young up here, there's no reason you can't do anything. I mean, you can do anything you want. You really can. And I mean, I think I sound younger now than I did 20 years ago. On the air, I think I sound younger. I really do. I know that my mind is sicker, but that just might be because, I don't know, there's always been something wrong with me.
You might not be able to help that.
No, I don't think you can. I don't think they've invented a drug yet.
And you mentioned to me when we were talking about the article before that you don't even really view this as work, so you're really retired now.
Never. People said, I just had lunch with the owner here, and I said, Gary, I said, what I hate to hear on the air, I hate to hear people on the air say, boy, rough day at work today. And they'll say that with the mic open. Oh yeah, I'm here at work today. You're out there having fun. I'm here at work. No, you're not. You're not working. You're in radio. People don't think you work when you're in radio. It doesn't matter what you do. They think it's always fun. And it is, and it should be. To me, working is being on a roof in the middle of August or July, and putting tar paper down. That's working. Sitting in a control room with a microphone like this and playing music off a computer and talking and telling jokes, that's work. Pal, let me tell you something. My father worked. His son didn't.
So you found something. You found your niche.
Well, that I've been doing all my life, my whole adult life. The only problem is I never grew up. It's like being in a second childhood, except I'm still in my first.
You got stuck right there.
There you go.
So what would you say to other people that maybe are contemplating retirement or contemplating not stopping working?
Well, don't stop. I mean, like I said, you know what? If you still have it up here and you feel good. I mean, a lot of people I notice in the articles in the magazine, some people are going off to different things. Me, I can't do anything else. This is all I've ever done, and I can't imagine myself sitting there, selling cars. I can't do that. That's not me. I got to be on the air. It's the ego, I guess. It's really. I mean, you got to have an ego to be in this business. You have to. You just have to keep it in check.
And it sounds like if you do something you love,
it's not work.
Yeah, it's not really work, whether you're younger or older.
No, it's not work. I've never considered doing radio work. Never have, and never will. But you know what? Nobody's won the pool yet either. We still keep going up as far as when they're going to run me out of town.
Oh, they're not
we're working
do
on that.
Not yet.
Yeah.
You've still got a couple of lives left. So what kind of hobbies have you taken up in your spare time? Because you still do have a little more time than, say, when you were.
Well, I tried to get a job with the mob. I never did. Yeah, they had me out, rearranging Mr. Potato Head's face. That didn't work out. They wouldn't trust me with anything big. That's about it. I play golf. I like photography. I do that. I like to do that. And I taught myself, since we're here, I taught myself how to do videos. Mm-hmm. I know the audio part of it was nothing, because I've been doing it all my life, but I'd never done video. And I noticed that video just takes a lot longer for editing than audio does. But it's a lot of fun. I enjoy it. I try to put something together for people,
Yeah, you have more time to tinker with things like that.
Yeah.
And now I noticed, we'll show this on air. You can't see it on WLBE, but you can see it on LSTV. You've got a water bottle.
Yeah, that's right.
Here with your face on it.
And also a billboard.
Water.
A billboard in Eustis.
Billboard you can see on 19. And
I keep going by to check for gunshots. For the bullet holes in the. It's right up there on Highway 19.
So do you feel like a celebrity now?
No, not really.
No.
I just, that's all fun stuff. That's all it is to me. I mean, come on. We play music, for God's sakes, and tell jokes. That's what I do. The water, it's funny though, I did say somebody, I said, yeah, star of stage, because I remember I told him before we went on that I've actually been in a movie. So I've been star of stage, screen, radio, TV, billboard, and now water bottle. I've done it all, buddy. I've done it all.
So what kind of feedback are you getting now from people who listen to the station?
Please leave now. Actually, it's been good. Yeah. I'm free. It's been a month. We started November 2nd on air, and it's 5 days a week, and it's only 2 hours a day. That's all they could stomach. So it's going to take a while. I mean, we expect that it takes a while, but I've been very, very happy with the responses. The people remember from my days at the other station in Orlando. I was there 19 years, and so they remember me. And I'd say 99% of the places I've been to, people have told me, said, "Oh yeah, man, we heard that you were on the air again, and we're happy you're back." And Facebook has been going crazy, and it's been nice. It feels good. It really does. I mean, I'd be crazy to say it doesn't.
No, they recognize that voice.
I got the ego just like everybody else.
Yeah, that familiar voice. It's always nice to hear somebody that you've listened to for years come back.
The only problem that it bothers you every now and then you have to forget about it is when they come up and say, I used to listen to you when I was this tall. Or you know what?
That's when you're reminded that you're retirement age.
I remember my mom used to listen to you when she took me to school. When I had my little lunchbox.
So I guess there are some drawbacks to being in that retirement category.
You mean old?
The old, no. Yeah. Well, you got to say it in a nice way.
No,
you remember your audience, too.
I don't feel old. I don't feel old. You can't. I mean, it's fun. Have fun.
Yeah, so you can listen to you every morning, you said Monday through Friday, 7
to 9 a.m.
What are some of the things that you'll expect to hear when you hear you on the radio?
A lot like what we're doing right here. Total nonsense.
You never know what you're going to say.
Never.
You don't even know.
Never. I really don't. I have, a lot of times I'll just write it as I go. In the morning.
And I remember you mentioning that was kind of one of the big things when you weren't on radio anymore. You would listen and you always had a joke and you always had something you wanted to share.
You'd sit there and say, why aren't you talking about this? For God, I mean, especially when it comes to politics, they're so stupid. It's like there's so many things you could say about it. And then you hear them and they're all so serious. It's like, and I mean, well, you know what happened though? It's the business itself has changed so much with once they changed the laws and everybody could come in and buy all these stations, and so it's all just a conglomerate now. Just three companies own all these radio stations, and they all sound the same. You can go to any town you want, and you know exactly who you're listening to. The same company, they all sound alike, and they become so politically correct. They're afraid to say anything. They're afraid to do anything, and so I just go on and say it, and then eventually, if they just grab me by the collar, yank me off the air, and say, "Well, it's over."
So you can
I
listen
had fun while I had it.
Never know what to expect when you listen in the morning.
Never, ever.
It's definitely not the status quo.
No. And that's what people like. That's what the comments we've been getting. It's about time somebody, there's some kind of an edge again, on the air, and that's what we want to give is the edge. Is that forget this. This is not. Let me put it. This is not soccer mom radio. All right, that's what I used to call it. That's what they try to do, change your personality, and you can't change somebody's personality. It's not like walking into a grocery store and saying, "Hey, I don't like the way you stack those peas." Those cans of peas. I said, this is me. This is the way I am. I'm not going to start changing for somebody. I can't.
Well, we wouldn't want you to change yours.
I know. I don't want you to change either, Anthony.
Thank you. So we're glad you're back on the air. You can hear you every morning
Monday
through Friday, 7 to 9 here on WLBE, and you can listen. And also you can watch this Focus Radio segment and see Ron, if you're listening now, on Comcast 13, Bright House 498, and Florida Cable 4. So you're going to be a local TV star as well.
Again. It's getting old. It's getting so old. I hate it.
Well, people hear you, they know you, and they definitely enjoy that. So we're glad you're back on the air. We're glad you're keeping busy, like you said, living the lifestyle that you want to live in a way, that's semi-retired, I guess.
Yeah.
You know, not
Yeah.
not really full time at the grind anymore. But we enjoyed having you, Ron. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thanks a lot. I really appreciate it.
Yeah, and we'll be back with Focus Radio and Diane Spurlock, another retiree who's unretired, and she's going to share her experience. Welcome back to Focus Radio and Today Television as well. You can watch us here on LSTV, which is on Comcast 13, Bright House 498, and Florida Cable 4. Of course, be sure to like Focus Lake County on Facebook and catch us on YouTube. Subscribe to us there. And don't forget to pick up the copy of December's issue, which is now on stands, available at 130 and more locations throughout Lake County. And you could also find us on the web at focuslakecounty.com. Now, we've been talking to an unretiree, Ron Bisson, who's here on WLBE at the radio station every morning. And right now, we'd like to welcome another unretiree, Diane Spurlock of D Place. She owns that thrift store that's been around since July, right in Leesburg on Sunshine. And she's here in studio with us today. Thanks for joining us, Dee.
Well, thank you for having me.
So I understand you were actually a college professor for a number of years.
About 4 decades, yes.
Wow, you've taught. So you have quite a history. What is some of that? You taught at Nova?
I received my doctorate at Nova, and I taught at Nova, Baylor University, and Florida Atlantic in South Florida. My husband, Jack, and I retired, or not retired, but moved up here to Leesburg. The first year I was here, I taught for about a year, several courses at LSCC. It was the community college then, not the state college. Then Webster University opened up a campus here in Leesburg. And they got in touch with Jack and me. We both teach, and we came from different, separate backgrounds. His background is primarily the sciences, the maths, the heavy, the intelligent courses. My background is applications, business, computers. We taught, and then we team taught. So we spent 10 years or more up here teaching for Webster University, all over Orlando, Gainesville. Yeah, Gainesville a little bit.
So throughout Central Florida.
Throughout Central Florida, yes, sir.
Yeah, so you've been very busy, and then you decided to retire.
I guess Jack finally got a chance to retire. He's a few years older than I am. He was 75, and he got a chance to retire. So I taught another couple semesters, and I said it wasn't fun anymore because we team taught for so long. So I said, let me just go ahead and retire. In the meantime, I was very active at Disney. I was a Florida resident, longtime Florida resident, always had my seasonal pass, annual pass, and I was always there, and I stayed at one of the resorts at Disney primarily, and I got to know the people there, and they said, Diane, you'd be a great cast member. So I said, and they told me about the seasonal position where you only have to work so many hours a year. So I called up Jack and I says, you know what, I'm thinking about coming back to work at Disney. He says, you're almost 70 years old. What do you want to go to work for? I says, well, I just need to be around people. I love people and I love Disney. And I get all the perks and I only have to work a few hours a year, 150 hours a year, which is about a month. So I did, and I've been there 6 years coming up this month.
So you kind of decided to unretire, come out of retirement and start doing something else.
Yeah, my retirement lasted about 2 weeks. And I cannot deal with this anymore. And then in the meantime, I was always in the garage sales, which kind of grew into a flea market type thing. And I had all these storage units full of stuff. And I found this little store front that was kind of empty, and I decided to move into that. So I spent the last several months just getting set up in the store. And D Place on Sunshine Avenue is the place to get your stuff. And I'm D, so.
So it's definitely a totally different thing from your education background to working at Disney part-time and then running, a thrift store.
Absolutely. But unlike Ron, who, by the way, is a very tough act to follow, unlike Ron, who's only been in one career his entire life, this is about my 7th. I was in financial services, I was in the restaurant and the bar business, I was in education, I was in corporate, And each one of them I love more than the last. And including this, I love everything I'm doing. And one of the things that I've been able to do with the store is I became very active with the Leesburg Chamber of Commerce. And I became an ambassador. I was very fortunate that they chose me to be an ambassador, so I get to go to all the openings and the ribbon cuttings and the breakfasts and the chamber after hours. And through that, I was introduced to you.
Yeah.
And that's how I'm here.
So you've reinvented yourself a number of times then.
Yes.
Why do you think that is a good thing, you know, just in general, for you and maybe for others to follow?
Because, as with Ron, he does one thing, and that's what he likes to do, and he said he could never do anything else. A lot of people want to do other kinds of things. Try things. If you don't like it, try something else. And if you do like it, try it a little bit, and maybe try something else anyway. But the more you are, even if you think you're kind of reclusive or shy or not shallow, but shy or introverted, talk with people. Go to the senior center. They give you a free lunch. They have bingo. They teach you dance classes. They teach you line dancing. They have all kinds of activities going on, and it's free. The lunch is free. And then they give you packages of lunch to take home with you, you know, so you have a shelf, you know, to be able to eat. So, and there are people there. Just go and just talk with these people. It's very safe environment. It's not threatening. You can pick and choose the people with whom you want to interact. And there's always somebody there who will come up to you if you're shy and give you a hug. And the same thing with other places. I love the store. I get to talk with people every day. People come in to see me every day. I have company every day coming to see me. I mean, you can't do that if you're home watching TV. So it's going to keep you active. It's going to keep you, as Ron said, it's going to keep your mind alert. It's going to keep your body alert. Even if your body is not as healthy as it used to be and you have to walk with a cane or walk with a wheelchair or whatever, the more you do for yourself and with other people, the more chance you're going to have of living longer, being happier with your life, being healthier, both mentally and physically.
Yeah, and that was a big thing we talked about when we were discussing putting together the article. You said, you know, you can't just sit at home. You know, you've seen that happen for others, even, you know, family members and friends, that as they get older, they don't do as much, and then, you know, it's easier to kind of fall into a funk or depression. And you have kind of stayed away from that.
Yes. And I found that even as much as I stay away from it, sometimes I go home and it has sad memories for me. But that's my goal for 16. I've decided as of January 1st, 2016, the pity party is over. I'm going to start doing redesigning my house and doing some things so that I love my home. I love my memories. I wouldn't give up my time with Jack for anything in the world. But I cannot allow myself to feel sorry for myself all the time. Yeah. So I want to be as happy in the house as I am when I'm out of the house.
Yeah, and I think that's a big thing for a lot of people that are approaching retirement age, or, you know, get to that age where now a spouse has died, you lose somebody that you love, but there's ways to keep busy, and there's ways to be, like you mentioned, be active in the community and be active just in your own personal life. What would you say to people who have either had an experience like yours or are approaching that age and getting ready to either retire or maybe do a little less in the workforce or just in life in general?
Find something that interests you. If it's painting, whatever. There are places all over that give you painting lessons for free. There are, if it's dancing, if it's swimming, there are myriad of activities available for all people, but particularly for seniors, and especially here in Lake County and in Leesburg area. We actually cater to the retirement community. Even the restaurants, they have things going on. There are all kinds of activities. And it might be difficult to get yourself out of the house, But you'll get out there and you'll find somebody in the group who's going to be a mentor for you, who's going to give you a hug and make you feel better. And then you're going to miss not having that hug. And then you're going to want to go out.
Yeah. And you mentioned the real point of retirement is really just that, is doing something you love, is being involved with people and continuing, to live life to the fullest, whether you're at work or you start a new career or you stay in, a current one. And it's all, that's kind of the point of retirement. You could be retired and be young.
That's right.
Is something that you mentioned to me.
That's the point of life, isn't it? To enjoy yourself. Even if you're in a career and you're working and you're not anywhere near retirement age, if you hate what you're doing every day going to work, if it's at all possible, find something else to do. Find another job. And I know it's easier said than done, because if you need that paycheck to come in every day to pay the rent, to pay the utilities, to buy the kids whatever they need, to buy the spouse a present, whatever, to put food on the table, it's not easy. But it's so much more important to have a good mental health than it is to put money in the bank that you might or might not need someday.
Well, thank you so much for joining us and kind of sharing some words of wisdom with us in the community today, Dee.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, we really appreciate that. And, her advice, also Ron, his very colorful advice for us about retiring right. And you could pick up the copy of Focus magazine now, look at the article that features Dee and Ron and also Dr. Darryl Fry and hear their stories and plus much more about retiring right in Lake County. So thank you for listening to us today here on Focus Radio. You can look for us in a couple of weeks again here. And look for the magazine, of course. I'm Anthony Rayo, and thanks again. And don't forget to keep us in your focus.